Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Russ Tyndall and this is Blue Line CNC, where we discuss not only CNC, but lasers and 3D printing as well. If these are topics that interest you, you have landed in the right place. Before we jump into today's content, I want to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel and clicking that like button if at any time during the video you find value in the content. When you do this, it helps my channel grow and recommends it to other viewers such as yourself with similar interests. So now let's get on with the video. Today we're diving into something a lot of you have been asking about: engraving tumblers with the Xtool S1 diode laser using the RA2 Pro rotary attachment. Whether you're just getting started or you've been fighting with alignment and sizing issues, this video is going to walk you through exactly how I set things up, from how to import and configure your SVGs inside Xtool Studio, dialing in your correct settings for your engraving within the software, all the way to getting a clean, consistent engrave on a curved surface. I'll also show you how I set up my RA2 Pro rotary attachment inside the machine itself so it's stable and doesn't move around inside. After the intro, I'll jump out into the workshop where you can watch the whole process in real time. At the end, I'll be back for a few important closing comments and answer some of the most common questions I get asked frequently. So with that, let's get into it. All right, guys, we are in Xtool Studio, as you can see. If you're running XCS, that's fine. Just know where your menu items are and how to access everything that I'm doing here, and you'll be able to follow along fine without any problems. So the first thing that we need to do is fetch our image that we want to engrave on our tumbler. And in my case, it's an SVG, so let's go get it. We're going to go to the main menu. We're going to select File and then come down here to Import. And what I want, it's a police badge, and it's right here. It's from Chandler, Arizona. So let's go ahead and select Open. And here we go. So that's what we're going to be engraving on the tumbler surface itself. So the only thing that I need to do to this badge is add a badge number right down here in this area of the image. So let's go over here to the text selection, or the text option over here on the left side of the screen, and I'm going to come over here to the side of the badge, and I'm just going to type in the number that I want to place in there, and let's click off of it. And then all I have to do now to get it up to size is bring it with that hit this corner bounding box, and I can adjust the size of those numbers, and we'll just center it. I think that's a little too big actually, so let's knock it down just a little bit so it matches better, and let's center it up, and that's about center right there if I'm not mistaken. And what about up and down? That looks pretty good just by eyeballing it. And we have to make it so it's not scored, where it's actually engraved, so we'll check engrave. Now, if I click off of it and look at it, that looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and select everything. That's the next step. Since we just added an item to something that's already existing, we need to group these two items together. So let's select group. Now they're all one item. If I select one item, both of them are selected. So that's what we want. Now, if you've noticed, if you haven't engraved on tumblers before, you need to understand that they're cylindrical, and things are going to appear taller than they appear wider, especially circles and oval type shapes. And this happens to be an oval shape. So when we engrave this on the surface of the tumbler, it's going to appear oblong or egg-shaped, as it's often been described by some people. So we need to compensate for that. How do we do that? Well, we need to make the width of the image a little bit wider. And I've found when you adjust the width by 10% larger, that usually solves that problem, that optical illusion of it appearing to be oblong. Before we do that, however, I want to bring the image down to its appropriate size. Now on the tumbler itself, this black portion, this powder coating, we've only got about 5.5 inches of real estate to work with in height. So I know I want my badge to be about 4.25 inches tall. So let's go over here with the aspect ratio locked because we want the width to change with the height initially. So let's change that to what I want, and I want 4.25 inches, 4.25 inches in height. So let's go ahead and enter, and you can see that the height and the width changed accordingly. So let me zoom in a little bit to where we can see it better. Now, like I say, 10% is what I've found works for me. So let's go up here and change just the width. And in order to do that, change just the width, we have to unlock the aspect ratio. So 10% of 3.006 is 0.30. So add 0.30 to 3.006, you get 3.30. So let's change it, 3.30, and hit enter. So there you go. Just the width of the image changed. That's what we want to engrave and how we want it to engrave on our tumbler. Now, the way that the RA2 Pro, the rotary tool that actually turns the tumbler inside the machine, sits in my machine, and it should be sitting the same in yours, is down on the riser base, and down inside the riser base where you, and in my case, we're going to use the chuck, and the chuck is over on the right side. So we need to adjust how our tumbler is going to be setting inside there. Now I want the base of my tumbler to be inside the chuck. So the base of the tumbler is going to be on the right side. So we need to turn this image accordingly. So here's our quick little tool that we can use to turn our image in the direction that we want. If we wanted it to go right, we turn it right. I want it to go left, and then it'll lock horizontally. Because again, the base of my tumbler is going to be over on this side, and my chuck is over on this side of the image on how we position it inside. And this will make a whole lot of sense when we actually go out to the shop in a few minutes. So now that we've got our image sized accordingly, it's sitting horizontal the way we want it, there's just a couple more things that we need to do to actually get it ready to go. And you can see a lot of this stuff is already defined from previous images that I've engraved on tumblers. But we just want to go ahead and make sure that they're correct. And if they're not, you can adjust them here. So up here on the mode, this is where you select what you're doing. It may say something like process on base plate, but go ahead and click that and just make sure the processing mode is set to chuck. If you're using rollers, make sure you select that. In my case, it's the chuck, so we're going to select chuck. And your material, just select your material. And I use the defaults that Xtool provides. And in my case, this is a 20-ounce tumbler, and they have already a 20-ounce tumbler listed in their materials. Mine isn't an Xtool product. I'm sure they're all sourced out of the same location. But if you want to know where I got mine, I'll put a link down in the description below, and you can obtain the same tumblers that I'm using in this demo. So once you have your tumbler selected in the material selection where you can check off what you want, just go ahead and hit apply. And it will put the power and the speed over here and get all your settings for you the correct way, what you need to process it with. And in my case, it's 40% power, 200% speed, one pass, 160 lines per centimeter. And the engraving mode is bidirectional, and that just simply means it's engraving going in both directions. We don't worry about the kerf. And everything's set to engrave, and it's ready to go. We are not connected to our machine. We're in the studio. So when we get out into the actual shop itself, you'll see up here that my S1 40 watt will say connected. So, and then we'll be ready to finish the demo out there. So we are finished inside here. So let's shoot out into the shop and get going. All right, guys, so we've got the honeycomb sitting in the bottom of the S1 that we've got to take out. So I'm going to go ahead and slide it and the crumb tray out. And underneath, you can see I have my jig for my rotary tool, rotary attachment screwed down in the bottom of the S1 itself. And I'm just placing the S1 within that jig. If you're interested in how I set all that up, I made another video, and you can click on that card on the upper right of your screen, and it walks you through how I made all that. So definitely click on that if that's something that you're interested in. So with the RA2 in place, all I'm doing here is taking some isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and I'm just going to go ahead and give my tumbler a wipe down, make sure it's clean so I get a nice engraving. So always want to clean your tumblers before you put them in there and engrave them. And as you'll see later, you're going to have to clean it up afterwards as well. But once it's clean, we're going to go ahead and place it in the chuck. And like I said earlier in the design process, my tumbler goes in with the bottom of the tumbler facing the chuck. So we're going to put it in there and secure it real good. And we'll use the chuck key to tighten it down. Just make sure it's straight. Make sure you spend the appropriate amount of time. You know, use a couple minutes and do it right. And get it correct in there. You don't want to waste tumblers. So here you see me just leveling it with the little bubble level. You want to make sure your work is, or your tumbler is leveled in the machine as well. So all I'm doing here is putting the laser head in the center of the tumbler, and I'm using that laser attachment or accessory that comes with the accessory kit to make sure I'm on top of the tumbler itself. And that little piece of wood I'm holding there in my right hand now, it was in my left hand a moment ago. I use that to defocus the laser by 3 millimeters. It's just a piece of 3 millimeter basswood. So we'll go ahead and we'll defocus with that. I'm just placing it on the surface of the tumbler is all, so I get that 3 millimeter offset. That helps in reducing the lines in your design at the very end. Sometimes folks will get lines in the design, and by defocusing that helps with that. So here I am putting the laser head again in the center of the cup. I'm just double checking everything and making sure it's where I want it to be, and I want it to be about 1/4 of an inch from the top of that black area. And I'm just doing a framing operation here to make sure the tumbler doesn't wobble inside. And now that I've got everything set to go, I'll go ahead and close the lid and press the start button and run the sequence. And I'm not going to make you watch all 10 minutes of this laser head going back and forth and doing the engraving. So with the magic of editing, we'll go ahead and move to the end of it and pick up there. Okay, as the laser finishes, go ahead and wait for the fumes to clear out inside the machine. We'll lift the lid, and we'll go ahead and move the laser head back and loosen the chuck with the chuck key and take the tumbler out of the chuck. Okay, now what we need to do, of course, is clean the surface of the tumbler. I use rubbing alcohol. You could use Windex, or there's a number of products. I've heard some people use LA Awesome. And there you go. I wasn't happy with the focusing, so here's a picture. I'm going to go overlay on the video of how it turned out. I thought it turned out real well. And that is it, folks, for this portion of the video. Well, folks, that's the full process from importing SVGs, configuring them, and finally engraving them onto your tumbler. A few things I want you to walk away with. First, Getting your image sized correctly before sending it to the laser is everything. Also remember your image is being wrapped around a cylinder and will appear stretched in many cases. You will need to compensate for this by adjusting the width. Second, the RA2 Pro is a fantastic attachment, but take the time to level it and make sure the tumbler itself isn't wobbling before you hit the start button. A few extra minutes of setup time will save you money, and it'll save you a ruined blank. And finally, don't be afraid to run a material test array burn on a scrap piece. Your material matters, your coating matters, and a quick test is a lot cheaper than starting over. If you are doing work for a client and perhaps have a number of tumblers to do, I would consider asking your client for an extra tumbler to dial in the correct settings, especially if it's a tumbler manufacturer or a color, that you haven't worked with before. Well, folks, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, click the bell icon to be notified when I post new content. I've got more laser videos coming, I can promise you that. Be sure to drop your questions in the comments below. I read everything and I try to get back to everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Russ Tyndall, and I'll see you on the next one.